Welcome to the Explainer. So today we're diving into a really massive, literally a tectonic shift in how the internet actually works. If you've been doing everything right, publishing great content, building those links, hitting that coveted page one spot on Google, but your traffic is still mysteriously dropping, well, you're definitely not alone. The search landscape has quietly mutated right beneath our feet. We're moving away from traditional search engines straight into AI-powered answer engines. And that means we need a completely new playbook. Let's figure this out together. Here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at the zero-click search crisis, then the evolution of SEO. After that, enter hybrid engine optimization, followed by strategies for AI overviews, building brand citations, and finally, the future of search. Let's jump right in. All right, part one, the zero-click search crisis. Let's validate the pain so many digital marketers, creators, and business owners are feeling right now. I want to hit you with a pretty shocking number, 61%. According to recent data from SEO Interactive, organic click-through rates for queries triggering AI overviews have plummeted by a staggering 61%. Why? Because Google's AI overviews, along with tools like ChatGPT and Perplexity, they're answering the user's question before they ever even need to scroll down to your carefully crafted blue link. And the true severity of this crisis really hits when you realize that in 2025, 60% of Google searches ended without a single click to a website. Just let that sink in for a second. The majority of searches are now zero-click. The user gets their answer instantly and they leave. This means your content might be completely invisible, even if you're sitting right there in the #1 organic spot. Traffic just isn't the only signal of visibility anymore. Moving on to part two, the evolution of SEO. Now, this crisis didn't just happen overnight. We can actually trace a rapid chronological shift to see exactly how we got here. Back in the 1990s, we had traditional SEO, right? Chasing keywords and backlinks to rank on search engine results pages. Fast forward to 2017, and the game evolved to AEO, or Answer Engine Optimization, where we all fought tooth and nail for featured snippets and voice search answers. Then, in late 2023, GEO, Generative Engine Optimization, was born when large language models like ChatGPT totally took off. And now, in 2026, we've arrived at a synthesis of all three, HEO. Which brings us to part three, enter hybrid engine optimization. So, the crucial point here is how we adapt to this new reality. And that brings us to the core of our explainer today, hybrid engine optimization. Let's define this clearly. Hybrid engine optimization, or HEO, is a unified strategy. It's not asking you to just throw away traditional SEO. Instead, it extends it. It's the practice of optimizing your content so it continues to rank on traditional search engines like Google, but while simultaneously earning direct citations from AI models like ChatGPT, Gemini, and Perplexity. Basically, you're optimizing for algorithms and AI models at the exact same time. Let's compare these two mindsets. The old SEO rules, they focused almost entirely on ranking position and driving organic traffic. But the new HEO rules, they're all about brand visibility and citation share. Because in a clickless environment, success means your brand is cited inside the AI's answer. Even if the user doesn't click, your brand surfaces at the exact point of decision. It's a real game changer. All right, part four, strategies for AI overviews. Let's crack open our tactical playbook and see how this translates into actionable strategies, specifically targeting those massive AI overviews right at the top of Google. Interestingly, not every search triggers an AI overview. They overwhelmingly target informational queries, a massive 99.9% of them actually. They also heavily favor specific question queries and long-tail searches of 7 words or more. So this gives us a very clear target. If you want to show up in AI overviews, you absolutely need to target complex informational questions in your specific niche. It turns out, mapping user intent to specific content formats is incredibly effective. Why? Because AI models absolutely love to extract structured data. If a user is asking for a definition, give them a crisp one-sentence declarative answer right away. If they're trying to solve a problem, provide a numbered step-by-step list with a clear outcome. And if it's a comparison, AI systems are super hungry for structured side-by-side tables. You have to give the machine exactly the format it's looking for. And that brings us to the golden rule of HEO, answer first writing. Step 1, answer the question immediately, right there in the first sentence. Step 2, provide your supporting context. And step 3, add original data or examples. Traditional SEO taught us to bury the lead, right? To write these long, meandering intros just to keep people on the page. But in the AI era, if you bury the answer, the AI model simply won't extract it, period. I really love this quote from SEO expert Dan Petrovic because it completely shatters the old myth that higher word counts automatically equal better rankings. He says adding more content dilutes your coverage percentage. Density beats length. Focus on being the most relevant source for a query, not the longest. If you just pad your blog posts with fluff, you're literally confusing the large language model. Keep it dense, keep it relevant, and directly answer the intent. Moving right along to part 5, building brand citations. Now, let's shift our focus from on-page content over to off-page authority. Because in the world of hybrid engine optimization, building brand citations is your brand new backlink strategy. AI models are constantly scanning the web to verify your credibility, and to get cited, you need external authority. Ahrefs data actually found that earning mentions in YouTube videos and building branded web mentions are massive drivers for AI visibility. So you need to publish original research that people actually want to cite, earn those YouTube mentions, develop a consistent knowledge graph entity across the web, not just on your own domain, and of course, ensure your schema markup is absolutely flawless. But hey, here is the incredible silver lining to all this disruption. If you successfully secure a citation inside an AI overview, brands are seeing a 35% higher organic click-through rate compared to traditional blue links. Think about that. When the AI recommends you as the trusted source, the intent of the user who clicks through is sky high. Quality is absolutely replacing quantity here. But listen, none of this works if the AI can't read your site. Flawless HEMA markup is the technical foundation that makes everything else possible. You've got to use structured data, things like FAQ, how-to, and article schema. Doing this translates your human-readable content into machine-readable data, which allows AI extractors to instantly understand the context and the structure of your page. Finally, part 6, the future of search. As we look ahead, let's talk about how to future-proof your digital presence against these continuous, ongoing algorithm mutations. You really need to understand how models like Google's Gemini actually process information. They use something called fan-out queries. Basically, when a user asks a complex question, the AI system breaks that single prompt down into multiple, smaller sub-queries to gather all the facts. So if you only have one thin article on a topic, you're going to miss out. You need to build deep, interconnected topical clusters so your brand is the answer for every single sub-query the AI is searching for. To tie this all together, we have the complete search framework. And this is great because it perfectly unifies the needs of traditional algorithms, AI answer engines, and human readers. S is for structure, making it machine readable. E is for EEAT, establishing authoritative trust. A is answer first, keeping it concise. R is for relevance and semantic depth. C is for citation, meaning extractable data. And H is for humans, because at the end of the day, AI is ultimately trained on what provides real human value. This represents a total mindset shift, and it's perfectly summarized by Rand Fishkin. He said, "The metric of success is no longer ranking position. It is share of voice across every channel where your buyer asks a question." You just can't obsess over position number 1 anymore. You have to track your presence across Google, ChatGPT, Perplexity, and literally wherever else your audience is searching. So I'm going to leave you with this question. Are you still optimizing for the algorithm of yesterday? Or are you ready to build for the hybrid engine of tomorrow? This shift is happening right now, folks. It's time to run the HEO playbook. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.